Hey, and welcome to the 141st edition of Quotes, Quibble and Question, your weekly leadership development fix from me, Matt the Coaching Guy. This week I focus on what 33 years of the same friendship group has taught me. Last week I spent 5 days with the same group of friends I've known for 33 years. Think about that for a moment. We're incredibly lucky to have each other after so long. This isn't the same for every friendship group. 3 decades of life happening, different careers, different relationships, different priorities, and different challenges. We've celebrated weddings, supported each other through loss, watched each other become fathers, business owners, and occasionally complete idiots. And yet somehow, despite not speaking every day, the foundations remained exactly as they always were. It dawned on me how different we really are, but ultimately how we get on. We don't fight with each other, we definitely take the piss out of each other though. And each of us brings something unique to the group, different personalities, different strengths, different ways of seeing the world. Yet over the years, people have drifted away. Life happens, priorities change, and we've also picked up some other special friendships along the way. But what remains is a group of lads who know one thing for certain, that we've each got each other's backs. The older I get, the more I realise the same principles are what creates exceptional leaders, strong teams, and meaningful relationships. Fun matters, acceptance matters, laughter matters, resilience matters, and perhaps more importantly, true connection doesn't require constant communication, it requires trust. So here's your quotes for this week. Friendship is born at that moment when one person says to the other, "What, you too? I thought I was the only one." C.S. Lewis. The most beautiful discovery true friendship makes is that it can grow separately without growing apart. Elizabeth Foley. A real friend is one who walks in when the rest of the world walks out. Walter Winchell. The strength of a team is in each individual member. The strength of each member is in the team. Phil Jackson. And here's your quibble for this week. And I often hear people say that friendships drift away because they don't spend enough time together anymore. It's a thought that many people have about friendships, team, and even leadership relationships. We mistake frequency for strength. We assume that because communication is reduced, connection must be weakened. But often the opposite is true. Strength and strong relationships aren't measured by how often we speak. Although in our case, we intentionally meet up every couple of weeks. And one of the group even travels 4 hours on a round trip just to be present. And you know who you are. They're measured by how quickly you reconnect and measured by the trust that remains when life gets busy. They're measured by whether people know you'll be there when it matters. But how can you spot if you may be neglecting important relationships? Every interaction feels transactional. You only reach out when you need something. Humour has disappeared from the conversations. People feel the need to perform rather than be themselves. Honest conversations are becoming rare. Small misunderstandings linger longer than they should. And you have plenty of contact, but very few people call when things get tough. And in leadership, the same signs appear inside teams. People stop challenging each other, authenticity disappears, trust erodes, and performance often follows. So here's how to get back to a great place. Start simple, reach out before there's a reason to, prioritize shared experience over endless communication, allow people to be different without needing them to think like you, celebrate what each person brings rather than focusing on what they fall short of, make a place for laughter, be present when it matters, and most importantly, become the sort of person who constantly shows up. Because great relationships, whether in friendship or leadership, aren't built on perfection. They're built on reliability. People don't need you to be there every day. They need to have confidence that you'll be there when it counts. So here's your question for this week. Who are the people in your life that have stood the test of time? And what would change if you invested in these relationships with the same intention you invest in your career, your business, or your goals? So thanks for reading this week's newsletter. If you have any other subject matter you'd like to hear more about, do drop me an email at matt@thecoachingguy.co.uk. And I work with senior leaders to move from stretched to strategic in 90 days. And in the process, we'll update your leadership operating system, prioritising time, energy, and impact in the right places. If you're interested in finding out more, drop me a DM and let's find out how we can work together. So look, have a great week. Bye for now.